Oh, Tashidele, hello everybody. I hope everyone is doing well. Or your families are doing fine. And welcome back for the session. Yeah, so we start with a short breathing meditation, just to settle ourselves in the present moment. Oh yeah. So now we refresh our refuge practice. Try to visualize as vivid as possible in deep conviction the presence of Guru Buddha Dhamma Sangha and its retinue within ourselves, around us, in every single existence, lively. Understand that all the refuge and merit field are pleased, delighted on your dedication of life in the practice of Dharma, practice of virtue, cultivation of wisdom and methods for the benefit of numberless sentient beings. And feel that you are receiving immense of blessings. All the conducive conditions for us to cultivate virtue, in particularly the great virtue, the Dharma, itself is the blessings of the Guru Buddhas. Without their guidance, without their inspiration, without their aspiration to benefit our sentient being, we won't be in this position. So therefore, with the reasoning, whatever is happening in relation to this virtuous cultivation to yourself is definitely the blessings of the Guru Buddhas. There's no available of Dharma, how to practice Dharma. If there's no available of Sangha, there won't be preservation of Dharma. Then how to practice? How to have available of Dharma? So these are direct blessings of the Guru Buddha Dhamma Sangha. The ultimate refuge and ultimate merit, no question about it. Even the conventional, the object of refuge, the conventional object of refuge. Without them, we will not have opportunity to practice Dharma. The conventional object of refuge are the inspiration, the wisdom, the guidance. We directly can relate it. We can relate directly to them. We have capability to access to them directly. Yeah, so with understanding that, then generate immense of devotion, faith, and also on the basis of reasoning, valid reasoning, then gain stable conviction and make a stable commitment and inspiration. Commitment and aspirational prayer from your heart now and in all future lifetimes, never to be separated from Guru Buddha Dhamma Sangha. So now take a few moments to cultivate loving kindness and compassion to all sentient beings, in particularly, those of sentient beings that who are suffering, who are directly have a special karmic connection among family members, among people that you know, in different relations, or even the animals. Then whatever difficulties that they may be going through, you try to feel for them and generate sincere love, send the kindness of prayers, dedications, and generate sincere compassion, and also generate loving kindness, compassion to the rest of the numberless sentient beings. Simje tamje dewa tan dewe kyu tan demra ju simje tamje tonga tan tonga ji ju tan rawa simje tamje tonga me pe tawa simje tamje nyere cha tan ni tan rawa tan nyu na ne simje tamje tonga tan tonga ji ju tan rawa simje tamje nyere cha tan ni tan rawa tan nyu na ne simje tamje dewa tan dewe simje tamje tonga tan tonga ji ju tan rawa simje tamje nyere cha tan ni tan rawa tan nyu na Okay, thank you. Yeah, so last few sessions, so we spent quite a substantial time for the subject on emptiness, which really require more time than just reading through it. It requires more time to explain, try to get around with the understanding the different the critical points. Like my one of my late guru, philosophy guru, used to express that whenever this critical and complicated, difficult subject come, then there we we cannot simply pass by. He says whenever there's such critical points come, then there we have to do our very best, as much as time that we could spend to dig the definite meanings and try to understand from every aspects, even how hard, must chew, that until really, all the hardness cracks into pieces. So even though they didn't really do like that, but just try it out. So fulfill the Guru's blessing. So now, from now on, very straightforward. So we can finish more pages, more verses like that. So from the two main practice to any Dharma practices, in particularly here in Lojong, the two main practices, which is the true altruism, the ultimate altruism and conventional altruism, emptiness and bodhicitta. So emptiness is very much like the very like a bone structure, of the body. Then the bodhicitta, is very much the conventional altruism is very much like the muscle of the body. In order to body to function steadily and perfectly to fulfill the task, you need very healthy, very steadfast, very strong, firm bone structure. But just having very steady, structured, and firm bone structure, but if you don't have flexibility of the muscles, if you don't have healthy, strong, and flexible muscles, your body can't function well. So the emptiness, emptiness understanding, emptiness experience, emptiness realizations, the habitual, the train aspect of the mind in emptiness is very much like the very steady, strong, firm bone structures of our mind. You need very steady, strong, firm view on a viewpoint of the view on the path. If you don't have that, then whenever the hard corners comes by in your way, then you can't move forward. You're stuck. You get fractured, and you get you won't able to how to say pass through the difficult, the subtle, the harder obstructions and obstacles along the path. Like if you are climbing a rock or the mountain, you encounter so many challenges, especially if you climb higher, more the challenges from every aspect. You see, so for that you need very steady, strong, visible, physical body, the bone structure like that. So on the path, the stages of obstacles, of the defilements, obstructions, comparing to the beginning, later part of the path, those obstructions getting more and more subtle, more and more challenge, more and more difficult to overcome them. So you need, you really need steady, firm wisdom. Wisdom. Without that, we won't able to progress on the path. You see. But in order, so you see, so the wisdom of emptiness is the direct antidote, to those defilements. So you need a very powerful, very steady antidote. But in order this antidote to really tackle the negations, tackle the obstacles, you need all the different means, methods and tools that which can able to bring about the firmness, bring about the effectiveness, in eradication of the defilement, and that is the method aspect of the path. Like how in order to physical body to move, you need this strong muscle, and at the same time you need flexibility when you travel through overcoming different challenges. You need even for physical level, you need this flexibility of your muscles, isn't it? Similar way. So you need the mental flexibility, which required, during the post meditation, in order to have a complete and steady back support to the wisdom, to be able to penetrate and negate those negations during the meditations process. So that way, then can able to go along the 5 paths and 10 grounds, very, very steadily and swiftly, and to be able to actualize the state of full enlightenment like that. So. So the whatever you have learned on emptiness, we have to carry into our day-to-day meditation practice, both in meditation session as well as in post-meditation session. It is a practice that we need to, those who really want to progress on the path, then it is practice that, we need to train our mind, in all the time, in all the time. So now, on last session, it talks about the impact was it on during the post meditation, that you need to carry the influence from the meditation, and that we discuss in relation to the meditation on emptiness itself, divided into 2 sessions, meditation session and post meditation session, that we have already covered. Here now, in relation to the bodhicitta practice, bodhicitta itself, the cultivation of the bodhicitta practice itself is in relation to the meditation and post-meditation. Generally, it comes within the post-meditation session practice. Even though bodhicitta itself can be in the practice can be divided into two. One is meditation session and bodhicitta practice in post-meditation session. Yes, but generally, it is the practice of post-meditation session. So now here, the influence from the emptiness meditation that you actualize need to carry in the post-meditation practice in the method aspect of the practice, or the path, the bodhicitta practices. During the post-meditation, while ourselves engaging in the practice of loving kindness, compassion, or practice of the 5 paramitas, in relation to in all our activities and experiences, we need to carry the influence of the meditation influence of the meditation on emptiness as a dream-like. So when we relate practice of love, kindness, and compassion to other sentient beings, we also need to carry. And that loving kindness, compassion, and activity or practice has to be influenced by the meditation on emptiness in the understanding of dream-like. When you generate kindness to someone, in order that kindness to be a perfect, stainless kindness, perfect, pure, altruistic kindness. And that happens when that kindness carry the influence of the meditation on emptiness, which is, the dream-like idea. The kindness in the nature of dream-like. The activity or the experience of kindness in the nature of dream-like. The point here is the act of loving kindness and compassion. Yes, by its nature of the attitude is positive, virtuous. But how great and how pure virtue it is or not is very much depend on whether that virtue is established lacking of grasping. If that virtue is established with the mind of grasping, it is virtue, but it is not perfect virtue. So whether there's influence of grasping or not is very much defined by whether there is the influence of the wisdom or not. The act of loving kindness, compassion is influenced by the wisdom of emptiness, then it is absolute perfect virtue, altruistic virtue. If there's no wisdom influence, there's no influence of wisdom of emptiness, then directly or indirectly, knowing or unknowingly, there may be a stain of grasping. Okay, the stain of grasping here, as we discussed earlier classes, the grasping can be inherent grasping, which obviously we may not understand, we may not pronounce it, we may feel absolutely giving, absolutely compassionate, absolutely loving, but the but that expression, but that practices fundamentally, influenced by the view of inherent existence. The what you call influenced by the conceptual mind of inherent existence or intrinsic existence, dualistic existence. You see, so so until we carry mindfully the wisdom of dreamlike in the post meditation, when we engage in these method activities, then knowingly as well as unknowingly, you see, knowingly, of course, you are mindful. Then even by it is unknowing here, it's even it is by nature of that mind of love, that mind of kindness and compassion will be free of conceptual influence, free of the wrong view, free of graspings. You see, and that way, that it become a perfect virtue. So this is what what we need to understand. Carrying the influence of meditation to the post meditation. When it relates to the wisdom alone, then whatever meditation you have done on emptiness, then when you come out from meditation, when your senses are relating to the object, then see things as a dream-like. So this is the wisdom side. How the meditation influenced the post meditation. Yeah, but then generally. Then in relation to practice of the method, since generally it is being the practice of post meditation, in order that altruistic virtue to be genuinely altruistic, then that also has to be influenced by the meditation on emptiness, which is the dream-like view on any method aspect of practices. Okay, so like that. Okay, so now we go through the text. It is on page 93. Training in the conventional awakening mind. Second, the conventional awakening mind of the exchanging self and others is presented. This has been taught by Shantideva. For example, he states, he who wishes to quickly rescue both himself and others should practice the secret instruction, the exchanging of self and others. If you do not thoroughly exchange your own happiness with others, suffering, you will not become a Buddha. If you do not thoroughly exchange your own happiness with others' suffering, then you will not become a Buddha. Even in samsara, there will be happiness. Hence, to assert your own injury and to pacify others' suffering, you should give your own self to others and protect others as you would yourself. Yeah, so the conventional awakening mind is talking about bodhicitta, And here, the conventional awakening mind of exchanging self and others, the exchanging self and others is the technique or the technique or the training that which lead to actualize the conventional awakening mind, which is bodhicitta. The Geshe Chekawa, Maitri Yogic, present the practice or the technique of exchanging self with others should be led by the preparatory practice of neutralizing neutralizing three partial attitude first. Then you engage into the actual process of training in exchanging with others. Then you develop the result bodhicitta. But as far as concerned with the Geshe Zopa, the who the lineage carried by Geshe Podowa, Kadamba Geshe Podowa, as far as concerned with the technique to develop bodhicitta, from very beginning, should start with the Tonglen practice, the self-exchanging with others, without even needed to start, without even needed the preparatory practice of neutralizing the partial attitude. Directly start to train from the self-exchanging with others, and both are correct, both are important, and these differences comes based on the advanced and ordinary trainees. For advanced or for the smarter, I think I shouldn't say smarter, is the courage. It is very much defined by the courage of the practitioner. The technique that presented by Podowa and the Geshe Zopa, that this tradition is very much, this method is very much to those who are more courageous in the practice of altruism, conventional altruism, and they have the capability and they can manage, from very beginning, directly train in the self-exchanging with others. Directly start from the actual point of self-exchanging with others. And those slightly, weaker in the courage, then first you neutralize the three partial attitude, then engage into the actual the self-exchanging with others technique. So so this has been taught by Shantideva in Bodhisattva Avadacharya. The Shantideva's Shantideva's the instruction to train to develop altruism is through the four techniques of self-exchanging with others. So based on Bodhisattva Avacharya is based on the four points of self-exchanging with other technique is to develop bodhicitta. So here it present according with the Shantideva's instruction. So it's he who wished to quickly rescue both himself and others. The practitioner, whoever, genuinely wish to liberate oneself from the oceans of samsara and its causes, as well as to rescue others, others starting from the someone is the dearest one, like start from your own mother to end to the rest of the sentient being, should practice the secret instruction. The secret instruction is secret instruction referring to the self-exchanging with others. So this is regarded as secret instruction. Secret here is because it's not easy, it's very hard. It is very tough. It is like a total opposite from our normal, worldly attitude, our ordinary attitude. Our ordinary attitude is about me first, you see. But then the attitude of self-exchanging with others is others first, you see. So even for saying, it is so hard. It is so unfamiliar. But when it comes to actual realization, spontaneous expression from your heart in relation to actual practices, it's like never happened before. It is so alien to us, you see. So because of that, it is regarded as secret. It's because of that it requires immense of merit to be able to practice this. Due to that, it means secret. And also this teaching is revealed to those who really have certain basis of courage and most importantly the merit to able to take the blessings of this instruction. Otherwise, the moment you hear, you may generate wrong view. You may generate, you may indulge into a lot of negativities. You may criticize this instruction. You may, through that, you create so much negativities. You may, if you're listening this from your guru, you may even disregard your guru, by thinking that he's preaching, absolutely, something is not existent, because it's not familiar to our ordinary mind, and thinking that this guru must be false, and you may generate wrong view towards guru. Can you imagine if you generate wrong view towards your guru, how heavy karma it is, isn't it? As we all know, you see. So due to all this reason, called secret, secret instruction, you see. In the earlier time, these teachings are revealed to the selective, disciples, those who are, nurtured, in the preliminary practices, much accumulation of merit, then the guru, knowing that they are ready, then they pass down the instruction. When they pass down the instruction, they really take it, take it as a, the hard practice, and because of that, all those practitioners in the past that who have channeled these instructions, channeled these teachings, within one lifetime, they all actualize full enlightenment. So they are the Kadamba masters, Kadamba Geshes, you see, or each and every one of them, they have actualized Buddhahood within one brief human lifetime, because of, able to practice these secret instructions, you see, like that. So, yeah, so in short, for your own benefit, for others' benefit, whether to rescue from, temporary obstacles, which in our day-to-day, delusional obstacles or adversities that comes in our way, or to rescue ourselves from the overall obstacle of samsara, and it is causes the ignorance and the karma. Then one should practice this secret instruction. If one really wish to help our own mother, our own relatives, and rest of the other beings to whom that you really, care for, then, one should practice this secret instruction of exchanging self and others. You see, so this is the most effective way. You see, the main obstacle comes from the ignorance. Why we are unable to help ourselves, why we are unable to help others, is the ignorance. So that when we talk about the ignorance, there's a wisdom aspect of explanation on ignorance, and the conventional aspect of explanation of ignorance. See, the wisdom aspect of explaining from the wisdom aspect. Then when we talk about the ignorance, is ignorance of not knowing the ultimate reality, ultimate truth. You see, when we talk about from conventional point of view, the ignorance here referring is not understanding not understanding the interconnectivityness, the interconnectedness, self and others. You see, because of not knowing the fact of interconnectedness, like how you and how you connect to your own body. That's why how much you cherish your own body. How you connect to your identity, how much you care for your identity. The knowing the interconnection between you and your loved one, and how much you care for them. You see, and we have similar reasoning, interconnection reasons with the rest of the numberless sentient beings, including rest of the environment. You see, and not knowing that interconnectedness is the main reason why we are unable to help perfectly and greatly to ourselves, and also the same reason is why we are unable to help to our mother, to our father, to our brother, sister, to rest of the humanity, to rest of the sentient being perfectly, because of that. You see, because of that, you see. So due to this reason, then, due to this ignorance, we are unable to develop the secret instruction, the secret wisdom within us, which is the wisdom of, to be able to exchange self with others. You see, because of that. You see, so when we are free from this ignorance of the alienness relationship with you and others, then it becomes easier for us to cultivate the secret instruction. Firstly, to understand what really it means. Secondly, you really can, have a full of reason, full of factual reason to prove to your heart that this is relevant. The practice of self-exchanging with others is relevant, and it is beneficial. And through that, then we can actually able to develop the realization of self-exchanging with others. Literally, you're able to, self-exchange with others. Literally, You see, so one thing that need to know, self-exchanging with others is nothing talking about yourself being others being you, not changing the body, not changing the person. It's changing the you know the attitude, the um, the attitude of love, kindness, caring, that what you used to have for yourself alone, now, you change that, not just to alone, to yourself, but change that to the rest of the other sentient beings, starting from your mother, rest of the other sentient beings, you see. So it's about thought transformation. It's about thought changing, the attitude changing, you see. So like that. Mm. Mm. Yeah. So without we reach to the point that we thoroughly able to change the attitude, self to others, the genuine bodhicitta won't able to develop, because the genuine bodhicitta, the fully matured bodhicitta, is a result of absolute change of self to other. You see, so like that. If you do not thoroughly exchange your own happiness with others' suffering, so what really changing? You see, changing your happiness with others' suffering. You see, so what thoroughly changing is thoroughly changing of your happiness with others' suffering. So, initially, train in our heart, train in our motivation, train in our thoughts, train in our dedications. Have the capability to have to be able to give all your happiness to others through motivation, through thoughts, through dedication. You see, through thoughts here, meaning, generating love through your heart to others. Through thoughts, meaning generating, kindness through your heart to others. Generating compassion, through your heart. You're not directly engaging with people out there, but at least in your heart. You see, so motivation is whatever action you do, whatever thought arises, whatever speech that you speak, whatever physical action you do, you infuse your three body, speech, and mind by altruistic intention, loving intention, kind intention, compassionate intention. Um, uh, uh, Practicing in dedication is whatever the goodness that you have actualized through your body, speech, and mind, then you dedicate that for the well-being of others, like the bodhicitta dedication. So initially you train with that. Then that training is fully matured in attitude. Then you engage in action, meaning, when you are with others, you speak with kindness, you see, compassionately, lovingly, etc. Then physically, you express the kindness, you express the love, you express compassion, in the actual physical help to elevate others from difficulties, abide others in comfort, in peace and happiness. You see, in actual attitude is when you gain the realization, then you literally can influence. You literally can influence others. You see, now when our prayers are not powerful, our dedications are not powerful, our thoughts are not powerful in virtue. But you accumulate, you train. Eventually, the moment you think of somebody, in a loving attitude, the others can be influenced by you. When you dedicate your prayers, your practices, your virtues to someone who is in need of the virtue, the moment you dedicate in your heart, that ripen in someone as a condition to ripen, the causes in their heart for to that person to elevate from the sufferings. You see, like a power practices, the power practices like transparent consciousness. If that is done by someone, some practitioner, that practitioner has to have a very high realizations in order to perform the power. You see, he or she herself has to have a great training until gain a realization in the practices, so that through your meditation, through your dedications or motivations, through your attitude, you can able to literally affect the consciousness of a diseased person, the consciousness of somebody, to make the consciousness of that person to divert from negativities to the virtue, or neutral to the virtue. And that virtuous accumulation of that diseased person or dead person, was a dying person, he or herself, actualize the direct virtuous cause to cause the consciousness to transfer to the higher realms. You see, it's not about pulling someone's hair, then pova is done, or ringing the bell, pova is done. If you have no realizations, it's just a performance, but the actual transparent consciousness won't happen. You see, so here, similarly, when you yourself gain realization through well trained in self-exchanging with others, even though you are not plucking others' suffering onto you and placing onto yourself, it's not like you're plugging out your happiness, your virtue, and planting onto somebody. It's not that. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. But because of your realization, the moment you generate the heart to relieve the suffering of others, it directly hits to the mind of the person. And that person, that prayers that you just send to the person, react in that person's continuum as a cause and condition to, actualize the cure from that suffering. You see, it is to do with the purifying of the negativity, and that person, because of the influence, because of the practice of taking suffering from that person and giving virtue and happiness to that person, come into a very powerful wisdom or virtues, cultivation in that person, that which directly will act as a, to find a like a cure. Maybe it could be medicine in the form of medicine, or could be suddenly meet the right doctor, which you never met before. Until today, nobody told about that doctor that which suits perfectly to you, who know exactly how to overcome your problem. But until now, somehow never encounter. But then suddenly just remember, or suddenly someone just come and say, oh, you should see this doctor. He may be able to help you. And you went there and he diagnoses correctly, give the right medicine and cure, you see. So in such kind of form, in such kind of form, you see. So this is what it means, you elevate sufferings, others' sufferings. You take others' sufferings, you see. You take the responsibility to overcome others from the suffering. It's not plucking and planning onto you, you see. So now, you see, it's a similar way, giving, when we say giving happiness and virtues to others, is not, it doesn't decrease the virtue and happiness in you. In fact, it increases the happiness and virtue in yourself because of the attitude and because of the practice of giving your happiness and virtue to others, you see. So whether the virtue will ripen on others or not, it also very much depends on the strength of practice that you have. The more the realization you have, the more the merit you have, when you give your virtue and happiness through either motivation or through either dedication or through either any thought of practices, it directly bring reaction into that person or that being in the form of meeting right causes and condition to experience happinesses, experience or encounter or actualizing more virtues, which will act as a causes and conditions for the greater happiness. So this is how it works. So yeah. So you see, if you do not thoroughly exchange means, rightly, perfectly, effectively, you see. So to be able to thoroughly exchange, what we need, ourselves need to practice. First train through thoughts, then we have to train in action, and from there we build the perfection. The more the training that you actualize, the more the spontaneous that it becomes, more the actual nature of your mind, more the practice of the self-exchanging attitude become nature of your mind, that much effective in thoroughly exchanging your own happiness with others' suffering. You see, become more effective, in taking others' suffering, more effective in giving your happiness and virtues to others. You see. So without perfecting this practice is must train, must actualize into perfection. Without doing that, no question about leading others into Buddhahood. You yourself also will not become Buddha. You see. So it is not like forced to anybody, but if anyone want to become Buddha, and this is the way, without this, not possible to become Buddha. So you want to become Buddha? You say yes, isn't it? Surely, isn't it? You would say, I want to become Buddha right now, as quickly as possible, isn't it? Then without this, you can't. It's your choice, No one is pushing, no one is forcing to anybody, but everybody will say, I want to become Buddha. for my own benefit and for the benefit of all sentient beings. See, in particularly in the difficult time, in particularly when there's so much adversities are going around, even our this ordinary mind which is so hallucinated, but still still can understand. The world is not easy place. Life is not easy. A lot of adversities. You really want to go to better place, isn't it? And and in fact want to go to the best place, and the best place is the Buddhahood. You see, to become Buddha. So to go to Buddhahood, meaning when you become Buddha, then you reach to Buddhahood. So now you want to go there, want to go away from this troublesome, and then must reach to a point that you can thoroughly exchange self with others. See, if you're able to change, if you're able to, gain, you see, start to experience, you see, maybe I should say this. Even from the very starting, from very beginning, when you start to cultivate this practice of self-changing with others, even in the samsara, you start to experience peace. Even in the midst of adversities, you start to experience joy, experience no harm. You see, even in the suffering, even in the suffering, you experience joy. Even in the destructions, you experience joy. It's that much power, you see. The reason is you totally loosen the grasping attitude towards, the mistaken view of grasping attitude towards yourself. And your heart, your entire system of your perception, your mind is completely filled with correct attitudes, correct mind of love, kindness, compassion, forgiveness, egoless, etc. It's total loss of self-centeredness, self-ego. Total loss of ego-centeredness. You see, the suffering that I experience is due to the ego-centeredness. You see, the rest of the delusional confusion comes in our way is all an expression of ego-centeredness. You see, which is based on, which is rooted on the ignorance of the reality of self. You see, so all the problem in relation to your, one's own experiences are, very much based on the self-ego-centeredness. When you even starting the practice of self-exchanging with others, you already dismantle. You already bring about deconstruction of the self-ego-centeredness. You see, you already building the strength structures of peace, joy, happiness. You see, so due to that reason, even when you start to practice self-exchanging with others, even in samsara, you will experience happiness. Because happiness is a state of the mind. You see, samsara is a state of the mind. You see, like for Buddha, even if Buddha live together with you in the same room, for Buddha is not in the samsara. Buddha is it's a Buddha's realm. In the same room, maybe not even maybe sitting just next to each other. Maybe knees are touching. Not even 1 inch away, and that place, that being, that existence is Buddha's pure realm. And for me, that place, that existence is my suffering realm. And it is not defined by the place or object. It's defined by our mind. You see, defined by our mind. So therefore, it is so true. When you even start to cultivate the practice of substitution to other, even in samsara, there will be happiness. So powerful, isn't it? Hence, to insert your own injuries and to pacify others' suffering, you should give your own self to others. You dedicate, your life to others benefit, and protect others as you would yourself. So this comes with, again, this comes starting with your attitude. Then, literally, entire your life dedicate in the welfare of others. And you live a life as protecting others as what you would do for yourself. This is how Buddha's life stories are like that, and this is how the Bodhisattva's life stories are like that. And when you think of the legend or the story of how this Prince Geshe Dawa become a Mother Tara, the enlightened Tara. Even for her to name, gradually, from this one ordinary lady, Geshe Dawa, then eventually to a Dolma, Tara, to Tara, then to Aryatara. First as a name, then eventually, actually, she reached to the stage of Aryatara. Then she reached to the stage of the omniscient Tara, omniscient Aryatara. You see, and this comes from the practice that we just have discussing here. From very beginning in the training time, she totally renounced about her own about this self-centeredness concern about her own identity, her own life her own happiness alone. From that very beginning, she trained herself to give her life in dedications of alleviating others' suffering, providing benefit to others. You see, so after she was doing so much dedication, there are so many. She renounced, basically. She renounced in the worldly aspect. She has so many things to indulge: wealth, beauty, etc. And she renounced everything, and she embraced the joy of benefiting others, dedicating her life, bringing happiness in others. In the form of providing medicine, providing food, providing shelter, providing companions, providing protections, starting from Sangha to the lay communities, and whole her life dedicated in that, until it come to a point that, she, without even herself knowing, that she accumulated so much merit, and the realization in her mental continuum is already progressed from ordinary to a Arya Bodhisattva level, you see. And this is what mean that you should give your own self to others, and you protect others as you would do yourself. And all the other Bodhisattvas, life stories, when you talk about Chenrezig, when he was a trainee, how he cultivated this journey of the path. You see, when you think of all our lineage gurus of the Indian masters, like Lama Atisha, he endangered his life, just to actualize this precious teaching. He traveled all the way to Sumatra with so much, danger ahead. But then, for the benefit of numberless sentient beings' liberation, this blessing of lineage is so important, and the benefit remain up to today, until to us. Why we are able to have such a precious teaching here is through his effort. Then all the Kadamba masters, like how Geshe Domdamba dedicated his life in order to, preserve this teaching, that which is going to benefit numberless sentient beings, generation in a human society. He fully dedicated his life, even though he has so many other responsibilities, but then he fully dedicated, as prioritize, his life to preserve this teaching, cultivate, and bring immense benefit. Like in today's time, like our precious gurus, like His Holiness Dalai Lama, Geshe Lama Konchok, your other gurus to whom look at like Geshe Lama Konchok, entire life since little kid, up to now, even in the physical health condition like that, you see, completely renounce about himself. You see, everything, every single time, day and night, dedicate the life, effort, energy, work for the well-being and for the benefit of other sentient beings, to elevate them from not only temporary sufferings, but from ultimate sufferings, most importantly. Was a from say self-exchange with others. When we want to see like a living example, like Geshe Lama Konchok is like a perfect example. You see, perfect example. There's not even a one single energy to concern of his ego, to concern of his own comfort. Nothing. Everything is in the concern of others' happiness. And that also genuine, tarat, ultimate happiness of other. You see, in this kind of age, in this kind of health condition, he can just relax himself. He don't have to travel. He don't have to teach. He don't have to do anything, but never stops. You see, even in the inconvenience of physical health, outburst laughters. You see, only inspirational words that comes out. Only inspirational words that comes out. Whoever you meet, bring brightness in their life. Even himself, like physical body going through a very difficult health difficulty, but you don't see that in his being, isn't it? This is a real thing, not just a story, 1,000 years back. It's a real thing. We all can witness through our naked eye. And this is not just one day, 1 hour. It's a whole life. Every single moment. This is what talking about totally self-exchange with others. You should give your own self to others totally, thoroughly. Protect others as you would do for yourself. All the gurus that I've met and get opportunity to serve, every single moment, every single moment of their body, speech, and mind is only for the well-being of others. My late guru, Geshe Lama Konchok, if you don't remind, if you don't take responsibility to change his torn clothes or wash those stained clothes, or even like there's suddenly like hand or somewhere just accidentally cut, and to cure the to apply some antiseptic creams or whatever. If you don't do that, he don't notice. That's what I experienced. He don't notice at all. It's completely only thinking, concern, and doing something, largely for the benefit of all sentient beings. Directly, anyone comes in your way, you are like completely, doesn't matter whether it's whether from your side is important or not, but for you, it's even this, little, the smallest kid, or stranger, or looks like a mate, whatever. If someone that comes in your way, it's like you, it's like a wish fulfilling gem, treasure, like wish fulfilling gem. So these are the Kadamba masters' practice. You see. Like why these people have to go like Geshe Lama Konchok? Why have to go to into a cave for 26 over years? Why? It's not because of he have no place to go. He has a place to go to Buxa during that time after he escaped from Tibet. He have a chance to be with the rest of the others, with everything, the food, the shelter, even though there's a limitation there, but everything by taken care by others. You see, why you need to go into a cave where there's nobody, no food, nothing? You see, why? This is the dedication. This is the dedication of your life for the benefit of numberless sentient beings. Because what you think is only concern of others' well-being. You disregard your own well-being, your own comfort, your own food, your own shelter, your own fame, name, nothing. You see, if you go to, in a bigger crowd, you become more famous. If you stay in the cave, nobody knows, how to be famous, isn't it? You go to a very narrow village, everybody will throw a stone on you, if you go to more civilized place, at least people will say, if you wear something strange, people will say, well, how fashionable you are. But in the Himalaya, what Geshela experience is like, you ragged, you beggar, because of you were worse than many beggars. You look like a beggar, and people abuse you. You see, and but doesn't matter. But doesn't matter because you have no clinging about self-importance. You have no clinging about the concern of, I, isn't it? You see, I remember that Geshela has his sister in Tibet, and I think, and also his brother. So I usually say that find ways to have a special communication. And Geshela says, whole being is my sister. If my sister is in trouble, then yes, then I should do some. But they are very wealthy. She's very wealthy. She's doing everything very good. She has many yachts. No worry, don't worry. There's so many other people who have not even one yacht. We should take care of them. You see. You see. So then, you see. So this is, first of all, since little kid, around age of 6, for until age of 30 something, you dedicate your whole life, your full time, educate yourself, how to bring about changing this attitude towards concern of the well-being of others. So after you have fully learned, you really dedicate, not just 1 day, 2 day, 3 year, few years. It's like 26 over years, like full time in actualizing those realizations of the path, like that. Then after that, when it comes to the the dissolving of the samsaric aggregates, through old age, through sicknesses, so he embraced old age sicknesses with much joy, like as mentioned before. Even in samsara, there will be happiness, like that. The old age, the sickness, turn into like a beautiful kind of like a portrait of life. You see, in those conventionally, it's a very challenging period, but in this practitioner's eye, they become even more softer, more compassionate, more caring, and more joyful. You see, when you see, it looks like, so outwardly look like so painful, like painful experience, process, but they look absolutely in bliss. And what they express is only bliss. You see, still full of only virtues. You see, then even after pass away, you see, turn entire your your the physical aggregates transform into how to say the sign of realizations. Your realizations, your mental, your realization in the practices illustrate into the sign of high realizations, like such like relics, like rainbow bodies, etc. You see, so this is like dedicating entire your life. Every single existence, you actualize as a whole life, whole existence as like wish fulfilling jewel to others. You see, is it like that? So this is a living example, like what Geshe Lama Konchok, what your gurus, and many of you also do that. Is it many of you do that? When I was traveling around the centers, I met amazing, Bodhisattva practitioners, whose dedications of their practice, how they transform, their old age, their sicknesses, their difficulties, their worldly life into a total in dedication of in the service of sentient beings' well-being. This is exactly what is taught here. Okay, so I think I have to stop here. Okay, yeah, so I will stop here. Thank you. Yes, so the coming week, coming days, as a homework, the meditation on emptiness, we have to carry on. As long as we exist, the meditation on emptiness has to carry on until we become Buddha. And for this week, on top of that, in particularly, as I explained at the beginning of the session, your meditation on emptiness bring influence to your post-meditation activities. Now here, the post-meditation activity as a homework, specifically try to dedicate our time, our body, speech, and mind, starting from motivation when we arise in the first thought in the morning, then rest of the thinkings throughout the day, then dedication before go to sleep. Dedication of all the virtues of the past of the day, and dedications of your sleep, coming sleep, also to the benefit of sentient being. So try to, try to dedicate, all our activities, experience into cultivation of altruism, love, kindness, compassion, etc. And all those activities of body, speech, and mind, get influenced by the emptiness meditation, taking this as dream-like practice. So I would like to suggest that I will try my best to dedicate specifically this week into that. And I also would like to request those of you who are interested to do that homework. Okay, I think the Lojong teaching here, Lojong tradition itself is the teaching tradition of instruction and practice. So therefore, and also for me, any teaching, even talk about philosophy, whatever, if we don't carry into a practical practice, I feel no taste. I feel bland. You see, any form of Dharma practice is, how greatly you're able to practice, how successful you will be in the practice. That is a different story. But everything interpreting into a practice, integrating into our normal day-to-day life activity. When that is not happening for me, I feel bland. I feel tasteless in the Dharma. You see, so so therefore, yeah, we have to those who are serious about it, we have to do this homework. Okay, so try your best and try my best. Okay, thank you very much. So we dedicate this whatever merit that we accumulate individually, collectively. May this merit be a complete cause for the benefit of numberless sentient beings, temporary happiness after the ultimate happiness, enlightenment. May this collective merit be a complete cause to pacify all the inconvenience that humans are facing through this pandemic, to pacify and find a cure soonest as possible. And may this collective merit be the complete cause to pacify the sufferings and the destruction caused by these wildfires that's going around in America, going around the world. And there's that a lot of destructions of flood, landslides in Nepal, India, China. Then there are so many other elemental disturbances around the world. Then also the man-made human disasters like war, conflicts, just whatever the adversities out there to pacify. May this collective merit be a complete cause for all the world leaders, leaders of the community, leaders of the center, leaders of family, to actualize heart of loving kindness, compassion, total lacking of delusional, hallucinational mind, so that each and every one under their care can able to live peacefully, happy, virtually. May this collective merit be a complete cause for all the good people in the world, like His Holiness Dalai Lama, Geshe Lama Konchok, all your spiritual gurus, all your family members, and each and every one of you, and the rest of the other who are source of peace and happiness to someone, and peace and happiness to the world, to have a long life, good health, fulfill all their aspirations accordingly. And may this collective merit be a complete cause, especially to those people, those who are sick, those who are in trouble in business or relationship, or those who are passed away, who requested prayers like from me, from you. And may this collective merit be a complete cause for them to actualize all their wishes, to purify all the inner outer secret obstacles. May this collective merit be a complete cause for this Lojong teaching, teachings of Lamrim, teachings of philosophy, and all the preservers of the teachings, like the Sangha communities of the three great monasteries, and the rest of the the institutions where there's extensive learning, all those retreaters, extensive practices be actualized successfully with all the conducive conditions, and pacify all the inner outer obstacles, including APMD, all the projects, all the centers, fulfill accordingly with the Dharma, accordingly with the Geshe Lama and Lama Yeshe's wishes. Okay, thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye.